It seems that the energies of every soul go through all of the elements. The energies of a stone or rock evolve into vegetation, flowers, and trees. Then these energies evolve into movable forms from the immovable. They can begin to have a type of mobility that is not as dense. There is thus an evolution through the mineral, vegetable, and animal kingdoms. In the animal kingdom, wild animals can evolve into more domesticated ones, and then, at a certain point, a group soul of animals can evolve into a human consciousness. This is a very difficult concept to explain and understand. It's not that a human being was once a rock, a tree, a dog, or a cat. It is that we have all the levels of consciousness within us that exist in all aspects of the earth consciousness. And we must experience these aspects of our being before we can evolve into our higher natures. When we are all these levels of consciousness, because all energies are one, we experience these consciousness levels in order to be in attunement with all life. There are many dimensions of energies within the mineral, vegetable, and animal kingdoms. To describe this would take a book in itself. Realm. So how does this evolution take place? Again, there are many different levels and ways that it can take place. It has to do with choice and the needs of the soul. There are many levels that souls on the earth plane have not experienced. The earth plane is just one very small drop in the ocean of the levels and types of consciousness that exist in the universe. Those souls that are attracted to the earth level are on a certain rate of vibration. So there are many types of evolution. Life force and souls go through certain types of substance for special kinds of evolvement. Realm. Is there any evolvement in the earth plane beyond what we know as human? I can see that on the earth plane there is another dimension. It's like looking into a mirror. Everything has its own reflection. For every flower, every tree, every person, there's a reflection or a dimension that's part of it, which is more speeded up or not as dense as the earth level. It's as if everything has both a dense and a pure state connected, working on a consciousness level together. There are group souls that every human being is a part of on another level. They are called teachers, angels, helpers, or guides. Whatever they're called, every soul on the earth has a reflection of its highest self, which it can tune into at any time for help, guidance, and support. It's the same for everything that's alive, and everything in the universe is alive. There's a consciousness level that oversees it and is a part of it. There's no aloneness in the universe other than that which a soul creates itself. Everything in the universe works in an interrelationship. All is one and one is all. In the world of nature there are devas, nature spirits, elementals, or whatever you choose to call them, that are the soul forces of nature. Everything is alive, and there are consciousness levels that work in relationship to all aspects of nature. The earth level is simply the reflection of the higher levels. There is always movement and balancing taking place, with the higher nature bringing itself into a balancing point of perfection. The earth level is merely the reflection of the true reality. Realm. Can you perceive a basic reason for such a pattern of evolution? It's that same pattern that's perceived in the great religious patterns throughout Earth history. The concept of the negative and the positive, the yin and the yang. There are energy poles. For every positive there is a negative. There are attractions that keep working in relation to each other to keep balance in the universe. Everything works in patterns of rhythm. The life and death pattern is an example of this rhythm. It is part of a flow. It's the vibration of every soul. This is the same pattern through which souls reincarnate into the earth level. We put concepts of good and bad, right and wrong, on patterns of evolution that are at work, but everything has its pure state. The polar energies are continually at work, bringing all things back to the pure nature of perfection. Therefore, in its perfect state, nothing on the earth level is real as perceived, because it also exists in a different energy dimension. There is continual movement and transformation of energy, working in rhythmic beauty toward the universal consciousness of oneness. Ram, how and why did all of this begin? There is no beginning and no end of what is real. There has been a beginning of the more dense earth and its levels, but beginning is only a term used in human consciousness in the time zone. The reason there is no beginning and no end is because in reality there is no time. The beginning is the consciousness level of time. There are pure energy groups that began to experiment with their own natures. All was and is the pure mind of God. All levels were originally operating in absolute balance. Aspects of the creative nature split from its pure energy forces, the pure soul, the pure thought. This is what is meant by God creating the earth. God, or what man terms the highest energy force, allowed part of itself, or its reflection, to come into a more dense nature, which was the physical universe. This is how it is perceived from the point of view of time. There are many, many levels of souls in all aspects of forms, in various parts of a massive universe. The soul of man evolved through many levels of consciousness and is working back toward its own purity through experiences. Time came into existence when man put limitation upon himself. The denser body was created around the pure energy forms. Then the male and female were created as a symbol of the illusion of separation. The male and female are symbolic of the need of the soul to come back into the balance of oneness of its higher reality. These are two parts of one whole. This is all a part of the rhythm of the universe. Actually, the earth level is the shadow of what man really is. Therefore, it is all one and the same, and part of the only reality, which is called God in earth terms. So, the soul works back into its timeless nature, just as the sun shining upon man changes the nature of the shadow. So time and rhythm on the earth level change aspects of life. There is always movement in the universe of the earth level because it is the unreal existence working back into its true estate. Ram, why did man make such a decision to enter the unreal? This results from the complete and absolute freedom that exists in the universe. We are a beautiful rhythm of God's creation. Souls that began to exist outside the pure source started to experience loneliness and fear and the human aspects of what is termed evil, which is the state of being cut off from the true source. Dualism exists outside of the God nature. Oneness exists inside the God nature. Therefore, life is a journey back to our true source. When we return to the oneness, we leave dualism, or the shadow existence. But this oneness can be experienced in the earth body when the soul comes into the realization of its source and turns its energies into the channels of purity and perfection, which is oneness. Ram, very good. Is Larry still with you? Yes, he is over with the animals. Someone else has been talking through me, or maybe it is my higher soul source. Ram, ask the other person and Larry if they have any other messages for us. They say that there is a great rejoicing over the property you have purchased for your new center. The vibrations there are very high, and the nature spirits are happy because they know they will be treated well. All aspects of nature at that property know they will be respected. The animals are happy because they know they will be as happy there as over here. There is much happiness here. When everyone is doing what they should be doing, there is happiness. Ram, ask Larry if he will visit us on the new land where the center will be.